Hello, I'm here with Marius Hartmann from the Danish Business Authority. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Marius, can you tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing at the Danish Business Authority with Neo4j and a little bit maybe how and why the project got started originally?
Sure. I'm leading a small unit of data scientists, and we're working with machine learning in relation to graph technology in order to fight mostly fraud. So we use it for fraud detection. But as an outcome of that task, we're also using it for personalization goals in order to provide a better service to our clients.
Very cool. How are you solving this problem before Neo4j was brought in?
Well, I learned some hard lessons from doing some projects concerning telemetry of some of our formulas and stuff like that. We have some great metadata from that. And I learned the hard lesson of joining tables when you get beyond a certain degree. So I think the reason that we are using Graph now is that some of the business goals have actually changed from the initial goals of digitization, that you wanted to gain data more easily, or you wanted to sum up things or get the average. Now you're more interested in the individual data point and its immediate surroundings.
Yeah. So what was it about Graph specifically that was kind of allowed you to be able to do that?
Yeah. Well, some of the questions that we needed answering is especially if a company that's formed, is it liable to commit fraud? So is this registration with the intent of committing fraud? And that's a really hard question to answer, because you need to predict a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we needed to provide a context for our models from which to make those evaluations.
Yeah, very cool. And I guess, how has the project expanded since you first started?
Well, it has affected a lot of our infrastructure. Of course, we've introduced graph technology, but also some of the sidekicks to machine learning and the task at hand in terms of an event-driven architecture. And that has also formed part of our metadata strategy of providing explanation and traceability to our machine learning models, in that we simply keep the events in a graph as well. So we get a full historical view of all the decisions we've ever made, all the data transformations, and store it in there.
How has the project changed, or any surprising results, I guess, from pulling in Neo?
I think the interesting results are really some of the questions that we are now able to formulate, and that also sheds some light on some of the shortcomings of the usual methods of detecting fraud. There's a risk that your fraud detection becomes anecdotal, because you become, as a person, accustomed to certain addresses and names.
Right.
And the problem with that is that you risk emphasizing on the small-time fraudsters instead of the clever ones. And the clever ones are the ones that don't usually get caught.
Right.
When you have them in the graph, suddenly they're connected.
Right. Very cool. Where do you see the project going from here? What's next for you guys?
Well, we'll be looking immediately into some of the explainability. We did the proof of concept of the explainability pattern in 2018. And before we launched the next major anti-fraud model, I wish to make damn sure that we're able to explain why we dissolved a company, or, put the decision forward to a human being of dissolving that company. Of course, we're not doing automatic decision making. It's still a human in the loop situation.
Right. All right. One final question. For those that are just getting started out with graphs, do you have any advice for people getting started?
Yeah, I think the major hurdle in introducing graph is explaining it to management. So keep it far away from the technical side. Take a small part of your data and just build the graph and show it to them. Show that you can connect any point in your data, and that will convince management that you can actually deliver a value. So shortest path, it's very easy to understand.
Very cool. Thank you so much.